Good night, good night, good night. So, you all know what time it is? Ladies' night. And it is the month of March. It's actually Women's History Month. And on the 8th, we have International Women's Day. So this month, we are going to dedicate some of the topics, most of it really focusing on women and how it is, we could really bridge that gap between us and the men, right? Because sometimes people just so focused on what, women's rights, and I mean, the men have a part to play as well in everything that we do, right? We can't leave them out. So we have Abby on the inside. Abby, how are you feeling tonight?
Due to the time, I'm all right.
Good night, Lion. Yeah. So the topic for tonight is we asking the question: Are women exceeding in the 21st century? So we are, in this time. So let us just say for now, in this time, do you believe that women are exceeding not only in career, not only in, well, anything, academia, but also in, emotionally, our health, our well-being, our families? Are we really exceeding in all areas of our lives? And it has so much we could touch on. Because I know when people think exceeding and success, the focus is more on career or that financial aspect.
Yeah.
But we could have success in so many different areas of our lives. So Abby, touching on one, do you think that women are exceeding?
Yeah. I saw a couple of them fall into sports, and they're doing well. I think the Commonwealth Games is coming up soon, and they're training and doing whatever, and they're getting pretty good. So yeah,
Yes.
I would say that.
Yes.
In sports.
Yes. Yeah. Hi, Sonali.
Good night, good night.
Good night. Sonali with glass in hand there tonight. Yes. See that we be taking the sips. Right. Yes. So we are talking a woman exceeding, yes, sports, because when we think about the gender stereotypes, I mean, it's been a while that people always talk about men in sports, but not really women in sports. And now, like in the Caribbean, the Jamaicans, Shellyan, Fraser Price, Elaine, and they are really out there showing the world that here what we exist, right? We exist. They're making a statement, like literally. So before nobody is studying the women in sport, and even though for the last Olympics, Simone Biles, right? She had, it had a little incident there, but she was able to overcome it, and it shows how important mental health is as well when it came to that situation. I don't know if it was Darcy Gymnast, Abby, America.
Oh right. It's a bit lost. Yes, I know.
Yes, you're right. So so when we are talking about exceeding, she was exceeding at her sport. And then she has to pick up herself and say, oh yes, I need to exceed now at my mental health. And while it have certain things, yes, as I said, we think about career and everything else, money, but what about the other areas in our lives? So Sonali, do you think women are exceeding in these times?
Like I said, it depends on what category, because some women are still shackled. That is the best way I could put it. They are still shackled in some areas, but in terms of career, maybe some of these sports I would say, because some women are still limited in sports in some areas. In certain sports, I should say, in certain sports they are still limited. But I would say one area for sure that we are truly exceeding is professionally. Really and truly, women are definitely exceeding. But in other areas, we are still shackled.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, and even in profession, another thing, and that's why I think this year they are focusing on breaking the bias. So we know, well, some of us would have heard about Good Night, Lisa. So the topic tonight is a woman exceeding in the 21st century. So are we as women exceeding now in these times, right? And one of the things that people discussing now is women in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And when you hear science, don't talk about mathematics, technology, the whole world. You think about men, right? We really think about men in these fields. Men as physicians. Good night, Kavir. Yes, we always look at the men in these fields. But now we see that women are there making a statement. However, they are still stereotyped. They are paid less for the same job. And that we need to fix. Right? So same job. They have the same qualifications. The only thing is they have a different sexual reproductive organs. And that makes the whole difference in the workplace. So yes, we are rising when it comes to the career, but it have some things inside there that we need to work on. Yeah. So Nali, do you know of any woman, who get paid less than a man just because she is female?
Nearly all. Honestly,
Yeah.
actually, nearly all.
Yeah.
To say personally, I wouldn't know anyone personally, but it's not a hidden fact. Women in the same position as men are paid less just because they are women. It have nothing else to say that they're underqualified or they don't fully understand or anything. Most women are overqualified and know far better than men. And just because they carry 2 extra balls that are bigger and higher on the anatomy, they are paid less.
So Lion just placed that's not the difference. So Lion, let us know what you're talking about.
What is it? They are intimidated. That's right.
Right? Now the thing about it. Go ahead, Abby.
No, the reason why I said they are intimidated because I and a group of friends kind of like, let's go into something that women wouldn't really go into, and we took FLTs, driving forklift and stuff, and while we were in there, exceeded better than the guys. The local area news outlet, just the little area newspaper for the area, not they get the gist that, oh, women are into this thing, oh, let's put it out there. But the men, the of the whatever, they wasn't too keen on broadcasting it, I should say. I just think that they are intimidated that we will. That's just my opinion.
You think that they are intimidated, but I don't think that it has any. I mean, intimidation doesn't mean that it's supposed to be women supposed to be paid less for the same job. So Lisa's
I
saying
get
she's
that.
a little bit confused. So Lisa, we are talking about, all right, you are not only paid for having the paper to do the job. Yes, we know that. But we know this. So that's why we are saying, so Lion is saying they have no reason to fear women. Right? Good night. And a special good night. A special, did you see that? A special good night to Ali. Right? So, Lion is saying that men have no reason to fear women, and that is true. So as we're saying that, it have real men and then it have men for whatever reason. They may be, but I mean, women are intimidated by other women as well, if you know what I mean. So it's not like the men, once you know you could do your job, you shouldn't be feeling intimidated, right? It have, as we know, men, they of course want, they need to be needed. But in the workplace, right, it is different. It is different in the workplace depending on the job. Yeah, because we know that they are female dominated jobs. We know this, they really have no male social workers. I mean, like, even male teachers across the board, you'll see more women. So there are jobs that are female dominated. But when it comes to the jobs that they think that, as Abby mentioned, the forklift, right? You're not looking out for a woman in that. Some people are looking out for women being mechanics. Some people not looking out for women being, well, it have so many different type of engineers now. But the ones that they think where your hands will get dirty, right? Lion is saying, without men, woman will perish. All right, Lion come out.
Need a woman.
Lion come out for us tonight, right? So the thing about it is, there are jobs that people really not looking out for women getting their hands dirty, like ready. They want to see, you wouldn't expect to see them in construction. But as I will always say, we know that biologically men are physically stronger than women, right? That is just a biological fact. So there are jobs that it would not be recommended that women do, but it doesn't mean to say that she shouldn't even try or shouldn't even do it or be labeled as I don't know what. So, finally, Abby, ladies on the live, what jobs do you think women should really get into, even though they are told not to do it? It have any jobs like that you really think, okay, women shouldn't dabble?
I mean, other than the construction business where the men more dominate, I mean, back in the war times when all the men went to fight the war, it's the woman that left behind that were making all the missiles and the bullets and the gun, putting them together and shipping it here and there. So I don't think there's anything a woman can't do. But due to our strength and our anatomy, men are much stronger. But I think men dominate, and without us women, I think men gonna perish because men cannot procreate. Lion.
But no, none of us could do it on our own. We both need each other. We do. We both need each other. So, Lion is saying we are the dominating sex. There's no comparison between male and female. So Lisa is saying, to me, there is no job woman cannot do. One of her father's sister is a plumber. All right. I mean, so the thing about it is we need each other. That's what it is. We need each other. We're not supposed to be warring against one another. And I think That's what it is we need to come to terms with. Everybody trying to prove some kind of point, right? Some men might say, "No, I don't need no woman." Some women will say, "I don't need no man." And of course, we grew up in a society where we learn this is what men should do, this is what women should do. And I do not know if that will change. Do you think that will change?
No.
Actually,
It may. So Sonali's saying it may. So Sonali, tell me where you are seeing that glimmer of hope.
That's what I was gonna say. It depends on which direction. It may, but it depends on what direction it would change to. But it could go to the negative side of being completely saying here what forget the other sex. I could do this on my own. Or it could have the glimmer of hope, like I said, the little ray of sunshine peeking through and say like, hey, you know what? Our past generation didn't have the common sense. We have the common sense now, and it is that we need one another. So there's a possibility of me. The scale right at this moment is swinging. So I'm hoping that it goes to the glimmer of hope of stating that we need one another. But right now, the scale is really swinging.
So Lion is asking, so why in the army you want more men than women? As I stated, which will continue to be true, is that biologically men are stronger, men are faster. So when it have certain battles, women would not be able to fight. Right? So yes, I believe that is the reason why they are
for the army, from what I've heard and what I was made to understand, men wouldn't hesitate. Whether it's to kill woman, man, or child, or even down to an animal, men wouldn't hesitate. Some women, not saying all, some women will hesitate. They will have that, what is this, conscience, I guess, of Satan. They will have that conscience to be like, so what, maybe a child come out in the middle of the street while they're walking down the street, and they don't know if that child has a bomb strapped on them or something or not, or is innocent. They will hesitate, while it will have some that will instantly kill and shoot and just ask questions later. So that is the reason why they will want more men. Men wouldn't stop to think. Men is shoot first, ask questions later. Women will still have that option of asking or wondering.
So,
because of the nurturing aspect of the woman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
so that's true. That is true. Right? So that's why there are certain, we know that they may say, okay, we want to fight for equality between men and women, but when we think about, we take everything into consideration, you will see that there are certain things that you really will want, and not only just want, but need more men to be a part of rather than more women. Right? Because if the men want, they could come out and say, so why it is we not getting much teaching jobs? If you look at a primary school, even the daycares, who do we see? Women. Do you see a man working in a daycare? No. So what if they decide to come out? So why can't, we need to be equality between men and women. So there are. So while it is we may be, and as I said, exceeding, we're going to move on now to exceeding at relationship between us, women and men. Are we exceeding there? Are we communicating well with our men? How are we really? Abby rolled her eyes there like, So Abby, are you exceeding in that area? Women, are you exceeding in that area? And how do you feel about that, Abby?
I like my little corner box here. as far as I like my little box here. But outside looking in on other people's stuff, women not doing as good. I'm seeing sometimes even the littlest thing what can even get a relationship closer because it's ignored. A lot of relationships and marriage is being, broken up, thrown away in the back just for the simplest little thing. And it's sad, And this, how women, independent women, strong, they want what they want, they're gonna get it for themselves, blah blah. It's just mashing up the whole relationship to create families and have that unit and whatever. It's not good at all.
Yeah. Sonali, what are your views on this? Are we exceeding there?
Relationship wise, very few are exceeding, because like Abby said, communicating, some women will communicate, but it's how they communicate. Because you could communicate one style and I could communicate another. So to say that we truly exceeding, slowly but surely. That's the best way I could put it. Slowly but surely. It's not a great difference from maybe, say, my mom and aunt's generation, but it's very slow.
Yeah, it is. So while it may have had, women were exceeding in relationships maybe in the past, we find that now, because of course all the points that Abby made, so women wanting to be independent, women trying to be the same as a man, because there are women who literally want to show I could do the same as a man can do. And because it have that push to show we can do whatever we put our minds to, it takes away from the time that we will have to learn the man, to really communicate with him and know how to build the relationship. We know it will have ups and downs, but to really stay on track and communicate and love and all these different niceties, it just isn't there, because we so need to prove that we are independent women, right? And as Sonali said, that we communicate. Some women we know are very much aggressive these days. So it's like yesterday Abby mentioned on Real Talk, women are taking shit, right? But the thing about it, have ways to communicate. You may not like a particular thing, or we could maybe try something different rather than say, nah, I ain't taking that. You see me, I have my money, I have my house, whatever. I'm not taking nothing from no man, right? But we need to know how to express ourselves, and we need to learn how to do it peacefully. Women are like literally warring now. So Andy said, I think it's because of their motherly instinct, and I believe he was talking about women in the army. So they will hesitate to kill a child. They may even hesitate to kill an elderly person, or persons who are considered, to be a part of the vulnerable group, right? It have women that will hesitate. Very few women have that tenacity to really go out there and kill. Very few, right? They might only see it in the movies, right? But when it comes to war, like right now we know what's happening between Russia and Ukraine, right? Everybody in Ukraine now picking up guns. Everybody has to hold a gun, right? But I mean, some of them really don't want to do that. Some people might say they have no choice, right? Even in life. But Abby, as I mentioned the forklift earlier, there are women Let me see. So line is saying you all excel at everything but relationships with a man. What's that, Sonali?
Wow.
Right? So
Yes,
yes,
Lion.
we excel with career, women going to school, studying until they reach whatever age. Women, well, they are getting leadership positions, you know. We may say no, but there are women who are in leadership positions. Um, there are women who have their own companies. So yes, it's true. Women are exceeding in a lot of areas. And you know something, because women, what it is, the observation is that these women who are exceeding in their careers, they don't have a man, really and truly, because they are so career driven. It's like they're not even studying. Okay, I could have a relationship, not even no type of companionship, really. When I look at women who hold like big positions, who have a lot of money, they don't have any companion. They don't. Is Oprah married as yet? Oprah? I mean, like, I
Well,
never really see
well,
her.
she has made it public that she does not want to be married. So
But besides being married, just having a companionship, I mean, no,
no,
everybody
she
is
does.
have plenty.
She actually does. She actually does have a companion, but she has refused him what I think 3 times he has proposed to her, and she has refused him 3 times straight and came out stating she does not. She refused to be married. The woman is trying to succumb, make sure her billion stays with her. Like
With herself.
she is making sure her money stays with her. So, but she actually has refused marriage 3 times with her companion, and she has came out and stated that she refuses to be married. Well, all I can say is kudos to you, girl.
Yeah,
You're the one with
I can
billions.
imagine. Yeah.
that's true.
Can imagine what that man said. He tried, He tried.
But at least
He tried.
he tried.
Yeah, he tried. Abby doesn't agree with Andy there. So Andy is saying he agrees with Lion 1000%. 1000%. I believe I am assuming he's speaking about women exceeding all areas except relationship with men. So that means we have something to
Lion has
work.
a point there, no? He actually do have a point when you do think about it. A woman could put her mind to anything, but the moment she gets into a relationship and has to interact with a personality that's either different from her or competing with her, there is a problem. And whether that relationship is with a man or a woman. So I do kind of agree with Lion there. To a point, I should say, but he has a valid point there.
Yeah, it is. It is a fact. It is a fact. It's a fact. So, Line is saying, women are victims of their own success and use it to mask their failures in that part of their life. So sad. Yeah, there are. There are. It is true. It is. For a lot of
And some
women who are exceeding, it is. It is true, right? Because I said women are so career driven and wanting to, we will say men have roles, women have roles, but they want to take up all the roles, and you really can't do everything. You really can't. So we have something. So while we are saying yes, women are exceeding to a point in some areas, but not all, and should we? And the question is, are you willing to work towards being successful in all areas, every aspect of your life? Because people say, whoo, yeah, that woman, we seeing the ladies at sports, we seeing them in different professions, exceeding, women having their own companies, women in leadership positions. I mean, a lot of people, it have some people who really like to be in leadership positions, right? Yes, they trying to prove to the world that they are independent and end up alone. Yeah, so yes, I was saying that earlier. Really trying to say, okay, I am independent, I could do this, I don't need no man, right? A lot of women say that. And because they go around saying, I don't need no man, and think it really becomes true, a true part of their life where it is, there isn't anyone around. And some women, those women in particular who say these things are lonely, very much lonely and even alone. We know there's a difference
I don't
between
consider.
being lonely and being alone, but some of them are actually both lonely and alone. It have some. I'm not saying it's all, because there are women who would not go around saying that they don't need men in their lives. Maybe they may not want to get married, or they may not want to have a sexual, this romantic relationship, but they know that they need a man for whatever it may be. Some people just want just a companionship. They don't want to have that. They don't want to get married. Some don't want to have children. Yes, have women like that. Just as some men may not want to have children, there are women who don't want to have children. They say they are not going down that road. 55. Okay. Woman, lots of money, no man. Was it worth it? Right? And that would be for the whichever woman in that position to answer if it's worth it. Right? If it's really worth it, having all the money, having a successful career, if that's really going home to an empty bed, nobody, some people really have no one around, because you know something, sometimes even besides having a relationship with a man, I have some women who don't even have relationship with their family members or relatives. It's that bad. Or they may not even have friends. They don't have no type of relationship at all with anyone. So we need to really look at that. Are we exceeding in any type of relationship that we have? Because some person might say, well, who the feel, well, in Trinity, they like say, oh, she feels she rich. That's a saying, she feels she rich, right? And sometimes there are women who really, yes, there are times when it says, yes, people move on. They may have a different circle for, because it may be really growth. But then it have some people that just, that's it. They have no good read. They can't even be in the same space with anyone else and have a proper conversation, have a good laugh. Lots of cats. I actually, who knows, woman with lots of cats or lots of dogs.
I do, but to me, I rather trust those who actually have lots of cats and dogs, because there's a potential of having a relationship. You see, the ones who have absolutely no dog, no cat, no hamster, no relationship with human beings, anything, those are the dangerous ones. You need to be like, yo, something definitely wrong with you. Even if a plant can't even stay with you for past a week, something wrong there. And it have women like that who are so independent that they don't have time to take even care of even an animal or show any sympathy or empathy for an animal or even a plant. It have those. The ones with the thing, those are the ones who are lonely, and for sure they can make an effort for a relationship. Those who have absolutely nothing, just come home to a completely empty house, that is the ones you have to be like, yo, you have to watch them at the corner of your eye.
So Andy is saying it's not really the career. I think it's because some women don't like to be submissive. The big word,
True.
submission,
That's
right?
true. True.
Yes, Andy. Because why? They want to show that, nah, I want to handle. I don't need to listen to you. I could handle my own stories. However, it's when it hang, so they wouldn't. They will. Women. Some women don't like to submit.
Not only
Abby.
that, not only that, not to say that they don't like to submit, do they know how to submit? That is the question.
Yes, I was gonna say
Do
that.
they
I was gonna
know?
say that.
Because
For me,
a woman could submit her, but does she know how to, and when to, and who for?
that's the thing. Yeah.
So
I am in my wild days. I wouldn't say wild as running around with everyone. I mean, like, we playing the fool, and it will have times our crew would, when we're out and about, we will pretend to be the damsel in distress. And
yeah.
when a guy see that, you will actually feel like his chest come up, like he's done something. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? We giggle because we could actually see, like, when he helps whoever girl pretending to play, his chest would buff up and his shoulder and his head tilt, and he feels like a man. So when I saw that, I like, oh, so I will play that game. And I think I played it too well, where they start to take advantage. Like, I would take someone out for a drink, and for them not to feel, because I would pick the expensive one because I know I could afford it. I would pay for it. I know they can't or might not. So what I would do, I would either stick the money in his pocket and say, don't worry, I got it. And sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But the ones that
Abby sticking the money in the man pocket is not showing submission. It's showing you. It is no, that is not submission. That is not.
Yeah, I know that.
Sorry,
but like,
that's not submitting.
For the public,
I think I understand where Abby coming from. Abby,
yes, of course you take advantage.
No, the way Abby is speaking, she is feeding the guy's ego, because you know that he can't afford the drink or whatever the date is. You know, you don't want his ego to drop. So you want him to continue having that feeling like, yeah, I'm the man, I paying for this or whatever. And she not the one who paying and ordering the most expensive thing and showing me up from the last date or the next date.
Right.
And he has to kind of compete in that sense. So you're feeding, in that sense, you're feeding his ego.
Actually, that okay. So I remember having this conversation on either it was what you're cooking or real talk, and doing that. Given because you ordering, yes, we did. I remember it very well. It was just sometimes, yes, and Lion will come in at some point and make a comment on that. Sliding, well, Lion say he taking money, but does it boost the ego? Does it boost the ego? Like, really? Lion, please answer that. We know you will take the money, but will it boost the ego, or will you feel like, what is woman trying to do? Show me. Because it have men, they will be okay with a woman covering a bill, because it have couples who might say, okay, I pay for the movies, the next person pay for the snacks or whatever, right? It have people like that. But when it comes to, or if it is really treating the guy as something different, you're taking him out, right? But knowing that, will it, after a while, the guy will catch on, okay, this is not really a treat. She want me to know that, hey, she making more money than me, right? It have women who rub it in men's face, and that is it have women that will rub it in the man's face. That I making more than you. I can cover the bill.
That's why I slip it under the napkin, slip it so no one's around when I see I'm doing that. I mean, if I was bold-faced say, yes, I will pay for it, blah, blah, showing him up. Then that's some, but by me slipping it over and say, I got it, and making him pay for it. So publicly, everyone sees that, oh, he's whining and dining. The girl not knowing it's the other way around,
So Lion saying, no, it does not. I think he's talking about boosting the ego. It's very embarrassing, right?
No, it ain't.
After we had this discussion, Abby, I can't believe you can't remember this.
After a while, Abby, men do.
Yeah.
They will get embarrassed once it becomes a habit and a consistent habit. They'll be like, okay, so what you're trying to say, I can take you out and pay for an expensive meal, or okay, I understand you're making more than me, but you're trying to brown nose me or something. It will some of them, like how Lion say he taking the money, it have some of them who will be like, well, what are you trying to say? Like, you're showing off. Okay, I understand.
Well, like you say, once it's not a repetitive thing, then it should be once in a blue moon.
And how it is done, the timing, it have so much to play. Not just it have a lot to play with. How often Lion Sarah, but Lion is I think Lion is, but
Lion is very few.
Yeah, Lion. Okay, that we will explain Lion. Lion, he is very different. Yes. So Andy's saying, yeah, bring all the money, and we work overtime with no pay. Right, so yes, there are men who will be comfortable with women, contributing to what, financially to different goals that they may have, and it will be comfortable because the man know that he's working as well. But then, of course, we know it will have the men who are not doing anything, sitting down at home scratching, and the woman out there working, right? But the men who might be more comfortable is that they know, okay, I am working too. They treated me today, or we have a goal, or we have something in the works that it will be okay then. No problem. We will take the money because we're working towards something. Right? It all depends on the situation, I will say. So what we can say is that women are exceeding in all areas of their lives, except when it comes to relationship with men. So that's something that we need to work on, right? We really need to work on that, and not be the type that where men say go like, I know we're going with women these days, so I really don't want to be around this woman before she make me do the wrong thing. Because it have a saying, men they say women mothers put them in trouble. So Shilon is saying women need to work harder in the future. Men are getting fed up.
Harder for what?
Yes, Sonali look like she breathed and she went to say something.
No, it's not that. It's reading the comments because true, I will agree that some women, I can't say for all and I can't speak for everyone. So some do have to work harder. They are the very extremely really few who exceed in all areas in terms of everything in life plus relationships, but the majority really do have to work harder because we see how it is nowadays. Some we already have to fight and compete with other women and men. Let us not forget that. And then it just have some men who like totally fed up, like, what's the purpose of being in a relationship with a woman? Yes, he is straight and he likes women, but it's like, what's the purpose? It's best I just, use it for the pleasure, have a good time, and then later it's goodbye, see you, on to the next. So it have the very few who really and truly lucky. Kudos to them, clappers, thumbs up, hooray, hurrah. But I agree with Lion that women have to really do work harder in the future. And not just the future, I should say all now as well.
Yeah. Like I said, men will become detached in relationships and will just move on to the next one.
But yeah, same thing I was saying just now. Hooray, hurrah, and move on.
Abby?
To me, you know what? I think relationship is a two system thing, not a one system thing. And like I said before in the past, I think my personal opinion, a woman could do whatever it is. A man or one, if he decides he wants to taste the neighbor next door, nothing is going to stop him. That's just my opinion. So even though, yes, we may need to work harder when it comes to building family and keeping a relationship, I think it leads on to two. But said whether they're married for 16, 17, 18, 35 years, if the man decides to leave or to try something new with or without your permission, he would. It doesn't matter how hard a woman tries. Because of the options he have, he don't have to stay.
Right. I think the staying is on both parties, as a matter of fact, as women will stay if they want to, men will stay if they want to. I mean, there are cases where men, they stay with their wives to know they don't leave them. Once it is that wife is doing, as we say, really holding that relationship, the man, yes, he may have women on the outside for sexual pleasure, but he stays with the wife or that person that he said he's committed to, right? So women leave, men leave, but are we really working? And because, as we said earlier, there are some women who want to, they're really trying to prove that point of they don't need a man, they are independent, they could do what they want. And well, Sonali said some women don't know how to submit. But does it, besides knowing how to, I think submission, you see, like how people may have, it have certain things that are part of us, like really, it is innate, right? But because of culture, the way that we were brought up, it's like, it's kind of like was pulled out of us. I think we know how to do it, because how it is, to act like a damsel in distress. How you know that a man wants to be needed? But then at another time or another woman might say, nah, man, I ain't submitting. They know how to, but are they even willing to?
Or when?
Are they willing to? Well, we know the when to, but it might have the when may be there. It will have a man that they can submit to, but are they even willing to do it? So they don't know how to. They grew up in the culture. They grew up in the culture, and they learn how to. They know how to deal with different situations. But then they might go, just as everyone growing up with children, growing up in a house, everybody learn the same thing, but they choose different paths. So is it a woman willing to, even though they know how to?
I don't know.
So we could ask that question as well. Right, you see?
Doing whatever I'm doing for myself for a long while, would I, even if it's to feed his ego and play damsel, knowing that I could do it myself, would I know when to put that brakes on and let him take over? I don't know. I don't know if I could. Well, when that time we reach to that time.
So, well, when that time reach, Abby, hopefully you will be able to say, okay, I can really work on this relationship and not say, but I can do it all. I didn't have no man. I didn't have a man for a long while. So if it goes soon, that is all right. We don't want to move on with that, attitude and that thought process, because then it really wouldn't work. Once it is in us and we're not willing to work and we just have the same keeping it, you may not say it, but in your mind you may be saying it. I didn't have any man around so long. Why should I win and submit and all these things for? Right? So like I saying, black women are missing the ball with their men. We are looking elsewhere. Right? So we need to, change the mantra. We really need to change the mantra and exceed at, our relationship with men. We need to. Right? So now you said we know it's not all women, and there are some women who, really exceeded in all areas of their lives. And, we can be those women as well, exceeding in all areas of our lives. So let's, work at it. Let's really work at it. It had something somebody mentioned, and a topic came up in my head. I say we need to address that. It will come back at some point. At some point that we can really discuss, because it's a real issue now. And it have things that, we let it slide past. We think, okay, that is not a problem, but it really is a problem, and it have things that we really need to work on as women. Yes, they might try to fight for gender equality, but Abby, you need to smile. And he's saying, Abby, smile, please. Smile.
Yes.
And he's agreeing with Lion. Yes, you're supposed to smile. Supposed to smile, right? Because we want to, we want to bash man. And we're really not making we're not even making an effort, and we really need to make that effort. We want to come out better, like really better we want to be better. And as I say, yes, it is we fight, but we have to be real. We can do this, or it have things that we really wouldn't be able to do. It have things that really wouldn't be able to do, and we need to accept that. We need to accept that. I may not agree, but there are things that women now feel like they could do everything. They feel like they could get another woman pregnant. We don't want to be at that stage where it is we really think we could do everything a man could do. We can't.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we have to be real and true to ourselves. There are things that we as women really wouldn't be able to do. So, okay, fight for beyond saying that, any woman should be abused or taken advantage of or anything like that. But what we are saying is that we need to be true to ourselves and know that just as we need each other, we really need each other. Yeah, that's what I will say. So, like I say, no change at all. Our women do not see us as a prize. We are, but others will. Right? So, ladies, like I saying, you need to see the man as a prize. We need to see each other as prizes, okay? Like we really need to see and appreciate. We know that there's a shortage of men. We know this. There's a men shortage. So when it is a getting man, it's not just about getting the man, it's about keeping the man. Just as a job, you might get the job, but you may not be able to keep the job. Right? So are you just getting or are you keeping? And that's the question. Right? So you don't want to just get it and then it stack off and you're not treating the man as you're supposed to. Right? It's like you could pick him up and just drop him off whenever. Because there's women that do that and we don't want to do that. Right? You know how some women, it have certain, they hold there, they really hold there, that's we want to hold our men there and bridge that gap so that we can really exceed at our relationships. Positive note, we will be working for all the ladies that need to work on it. Come on, let's work on it. We are bridging that gap. Yes, let
You
us
guys,
bridge that gap. Yes?
not me.
What's up, Abby?
No.
Not you? Abby, yes, you too. Bridge the gap. Be moving positive. We need to, really think positive about this thing. Lioness continuing to say the man is the prize. All right. So, y'all, it was nice. Thanks for all who joined us. Andy, I know you're always there supporting, dropping in. Lisa, everybody. Thanks for your 2 cents and dollars. Some people give real dollars. Right? So thank you all for, supporting the ladies' night, and feel free to, share, what topics you want to hear from us and, discuss. Right? So Sonali, Abby, you all have a safe and enjoyable night. We'll see you all next week. It's morning for you, Abby. Almost.
Yeah.
So it was nice. Yeah, we bridging the gap. We're bridging the gap. Yes, so we going.
Gone. Anytime now, Lion.